Welcome to Cashflow 2004, held in New Orleans, Louisiana, May 27th through 29th. This is Tape 16, Side A, How I Run My One-Man Business. Side B, Make Ongoing Residual Income Giving Away a Free Service.
For the field of private mortgage notes, and I still do quite a bit of business as far as brokering. Charlotte, right over on your right-hand side there's a person as well. Okay. I do private mortgage notes. It is my main business. Make sure you visit my website and check it out. I do have a free consultants package, free broker package on my website. You click on Note Brokers, and there you can download and print it out right away. It's got some good information in there as well. What else can I tell you? Well, we've only got 50 minutes. So I don't want to tell you too much more about myself. I'd rather get right into the material and show you what I do as a one-man operation, how much more successful I think you can be by working by yourself and not having overhead, not having employees. One of the great things, one of the reasons that I started this business is that I wanted control over my life. I wanted time to spend with my family and be able to bring them to New Orleans and things like that. And this business gives me that. I'll get up at 6:30 in the morning. When the girls were younger, I would help them get ready and do their hair. You know, I do the French braid thing, and I can do buns, and you name it, I can do it. As they get older, they don't want me doing their hair anymore. But as they get along in age, they're really enjoying getting out with Dad, and I'm always there. I'm at home. I'll walk them to school. My older daughter's going to be in high school next year, which is amazing because I just got out of high school, you know, and it's amazing to watch her grow up. So as things go by, I'm always around. I can do what I want, when I want, and I've got the money to do it with, and that's why I keep doing this business. It doesn't get boring. Every single deal that I do is new and exciting because they're all different. I've got just about 1,300 transactions under my belt now. In 13 years, it averages out to about 100 transactions a year. And as a one-man operation, that's humongous. Okay? It is something I enjoy talking about. It's something that I enjoy teaching new students, and I enjoy people being successful. Can I help you out? Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Charlotte. Let's give Charlotte and Shannon a big hand for the handouts. Thank you. Now, as I'm speaking, Shannon's going to come by with one of my Armstrong Capital hats. Go ahead and put your cards in there if you like. We'll do a drawing for, I'm going to give away both of my books today. I've got a marketing book called Every Single Profitable Note Marketing Idea in the World, almost. It's a green book. Just remember the green book, and that's the marketing book. I've got a book entitled Scripts and Tips as well. That's also available in the bookstore, and I'll be giving one of each of those away right at the end of the session today. You also got a blue form there. The blue form, my daughter's made up a word search for you to have some fun with about things that Armstrong Capital can help you with and work with you. And on the back of it has some information about my mentor program. If you're interested, give me a call, and we'll try to set something up that's agreeable to everyone here. Okay? Let's get into it. How do I run my one-man business? On my handouts, it has the top 35 questions that I get asked from new consultants every single day. On the first page, as a one-man operation, these are the things that I think will result in your success. If you're going after private mortgage notes, you've got to have product knowledge. You have got to know the numbers of different ways there are to purchase mortgage notes. Too many consultants I see get out of the classes, start working the business, and all that they offer the note holders is a full offer. You want to push the partials. You want to try to find out their exact need that they have and custom tailor a transaction just for them. I know of over 20 different ways that we can purchase a note. Of course, we can do full purchases. There are straight partials, multi-stages, reverse partials, short life yield payouts, multi-stage payouts, many, many different ways to buy a note. Okay, so one of the more effective ways of going after business is to discount the full purchase offers to your sellers and try to find out what their needs are. You go, oh, you only need $10,000? Let's just buy a few years of payments from you then, and you get the note back. Oh, you need some more income still? Well, let's buy half of every payment. Okay, there are many, many ways to structure a deal that will meet the needs of the seller. Okay, when someone calls up and you're all excited and you want to get their information on the worksheet and start getting some quotes, but take the time to sit on the phone with them and listen to them and find out what their real need is. Again, we are not in the business of convincing people to sell their note. We're in the business of assisting people getting the cash they need if they are receiving payments on a note. Okay, when they need cash, they're going to give us a call. We're going to assist them with their needs. Calculator skills. It is very nice to be able to plug the numbers in your calculator and figure out, hey, what yield is that funding source using for this note? Okay, when you have good calculator skills, you will be able to, on your own, figure out approximately what a funding source may offer for this note. So if the sellers are being unrealistic in their expectations, we can kind of counter that by, again, offering partial purchases. People skills. This is something that has just come in time with me, especially over the phone. Some people are born with it. Other people, like myself, really had to learn to build a rapport over the phone. I'm very approachable, and I'm very willing to talk to people. But on the phone, it's a different story. So I have a mirror next to my desk, and before I answer every phone call, I turn in the mirror and I smile, and the tone of my voice gets nicer, I guess. But it works. Try it at home, Smile, answer the phone, and your voice will have a much more pleasant tone. People skills and building rapport. Persistence. I'm a big fan of Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. I do have a burning desire. I did have a burning desire to make this business work. And I continue to follow his goal statements and his steps to creating wealth. And if you do not have a burning desire to make your business successful, you will not be successful. Okay? You have to understand that this is a real business. It is not a get-rich-quick kind of a thing. You've got to put your time in. You've got to know that it does work, and you just have to find out how it's going to work for you. Okay, which niche you're going to go into, which marketing methods you're going to use, that type of thing. And confidence. Confidence to know that you can do this business. Anyone can do this business. We're here to show you that I'm just like you. I'm a consultant. I still consult and broker 95% of the notes that come across my desk. I purchased my first note 7 years into my business. Last year I bought 7 notes for myself as a private investor. Again, I'm not a funding source. This year so far, I'm working on my 3rd one. Okay, I have certain requirements that I have for me to purchase a note. Okay, I'm mainly here as a master consultant, someone that can hold your hand on your first couple of deals and get you going on your way. The confidence in the business. How do I run my business? I've been in the business for 13 years. I work out of my home. I've worked out of my home since the 1994 earthquake. I had a little office at one time. It was fun. Daddy went to the office. Woohoo, going to the office. See you later. Yeah, that was fun. You know what? A lot funner to be at home. I get a lot done, and I can work anytime I want to. I work full-time. In California, there are a few laws. If you broker 7 or more notes a year, they would like you to have your real estate broker's license. In 1996, I got it. It's hanging on the wall. I don't do anything with it. Our funding sources will work with you. If you are from California, they will work with you and pay you referral fees. Okay? So it will not stop you from doing business. But yes, I do have my license. Do I operate under a corporation? No, I'm a sole proprietor, DBA, at the advice of my accountant for 20 years. That's what I do. Armstrong Capital is just a DBA. I have no employees except for my 3 family helpers. That's about it. They get $3.50 an hour, plus extensive benefits. I'm primarily a broker, a consultant, just like you guys. I sell both to private parties and institutions, mainly to institutions. You'll see them here: Western United, Note One, Interbay. Those are my three big ones for private mortgage notes. They've got a couple of back pocket private investors for some more difficult things. However, those are my main funding sources. I do not originate loans. I don't want to distract myself from our business of purchasing notes at a discount. Okay? If people will call you that want loans, find someone that you can call and refer people to, so maybe you can get a referral fee. Call some loan officers or mortgage brokers in your area and say, hey, if I send you a lead that someone wants to refinance or get a loan on a home, can I refer them to you and get a referral fee? Okay, that's how I handle loans. Okay, I don't want to distract myself again from doing this business. Do I have access to a credit bureau? Yes, I do. Do I use it? Very rarely. Only when I buy notes for myself. Very rarely do I use it. The funding sources check all the credit for us. We really have no reason to. Equipment that I use in my business. Over the years, I have gathered this equipment together. I do have a computer, of course, a fax machine, a dedicated fax line. Okay, people can fax, and I can fax out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. An answering machine, yes, plus I do have voicemail. If I'm on the phone and it beeps, like when you hear a call waiting and it beeps, if it beeps 2 times, it'll go to my voicemail, and I'll pick it up after I get off that phone call. I do not like to interrupt sellers in the middle of a conversation. Very rude, very unprofessional. Copy machine, yes. 800 number, yes. We're representing that we have access to, billions of dollars of cash to buy these income streams. If we can't pay for a phone call, what does that say about us? An 800 number, there are some very cheap 800 numbers out there. I paid $20 a month and then 6 cents a minute or something like that. Software that I used, T-Value. Q&A is an old contact management system. I am gradually moving all my contact management into the Web Partner back office of their website, the Web Partner program. And that's becoming a very good tool for me because I can access it anywhere I go. What else? Microsoft Word, Microsoft Publisher, WordPerfect, BrokerNet. BrokerNet is a program that Western United, Metropolitan years ago, developed. It is a program that I can work with them faster, and that spits out quotes for me if I know their yield. You can get BrokerNet by closing a deal with Western United Life Insurance Company. And you should talk to them at their booth this weekend as well. Western United and their program, BrokerNet. Front Page 2000 is a website designing program. Do I use real estate agents for finding notes? No. How do I give my quotes? Over the phone. In the last 13 years, again, I'm almost up to 1,300 transactions. I have only met the seller of the note face-to-face one time. One time. And that was my very, very first transaction way back in 1991. Question?
Going back to your software, what is T-Value?
T-Value. The question is, what is T-Value? T-Value software is an amortization program that you can print out amortization schedules for your note holders and something to give them for free. Okay? Question?
Why wouldn't you use real estate agents to get notes? It seems.
Why wouldn't I use real estate agents to get notes? It's just not something I do. Okay? I can't do everything, every marketing method there is to find notes. I do a list of 5 basic things to find notes, and I'll try to detail those in the next few minutes. It's just not one way that I developed to find business for myself. It is a viable way of finding private mortgage notes, just not something that I do.
Are you particular what type of phone equipment you use?
Am I particular to what type of phone equipment I use? No. I got my Uniden at Costco. That's my cordless phone that I use. Okay? No particular system or anything like that as far as phones go. I was talking about giving my quotes. Again, never met the seller face-to-face except my very first transaction. Not something I wanted to do. When I had what I envisioned for myself in this business was sitting at home in my shorts and my t-shirt and answering the phone and helping people out with money. And that's what I do. It's a great life, I gotta tell you. You know, you can all get there, absolutely. How do I find most of my notes? Direct mail, referrals, website. I've got 5 basic methods of finding notes. This is not a marketing 50 minutes here. It's how I run my business. I'll name them real quick. I do use direct mail. I do use, I've built up a referral network over the years. I do use small classified ads in outlying rural types of areas. I do use my website. I'm driving more traffic to that every year. We're using different marketing methods. And I do have the secret that I let out a couple years ago is my note holder's handbook. My note holder's handbook is included in my marketing book. It's on a disc. And what my note holder's handbook is, it is a handbook for real estate note holders. It has 8 or 10 pages about foreclosure to kind of give them a little scare. You know, it's got a glossary of real estate terms in it. It's got information about what a good note is, what a bad note is, and why there's a discount. You know, just to inform a note holder much better. The main purpose of the note holder's handbook, I referred to it in my direct mail letter, call today for your free note holder's handbook. I send it to them, and on every single page is my Armstrong Capital 800 number, my website, all my contact information. Excuse me, in the back of the handbook is a payment record. One of the things we need when they say yes in the package to send to the funding source is a copy of their payment record. So they can turn to the back of my book, write down check number, date received, amount received, and whose name do they see every single month when they pick up the book to do their payment record? Armstrong Capitals. Okay? So I put it on a CD. It's been my secret for years. It's included in the marketing book in the bookstore, and it's customizable. You can put your name and address and contact information on there, put some more things in, take some things out, whatever you want to do. But if I send out 10 note holders handbooks, eventually, over time, I will get 5 of those deals. That's how powerful of a marketing method that note holder's handbook is. Okay? It's something that they see every single month when they're receiving their payments. Question?
Do you keep track of the 5 methods that you use?
I keep very detailed track of every single one of my marketing methods. Every single one. I have statistics. Blah, blah, blah. I have statistics up the yin-yang. I do.
Your direct mail list, where do you get those?
I'll get into my, if I have time later, I'll try to get into my direct mail where I get my names and things like that. Let's try to keep it on how I run my business right now. For my direct mail, I use letters and postcards. I'll send out an initial letter, and I'll follow it up with 3 sets of postcards, 6 months after they get a letter, 12 months after they get a letter, 18 months after they get a letter. The key on direct mail, and make a note of this, is when you buy names from whoever you buy them from, they must be fresh names. If they are older than 3 or 6 months old, your response rate will be very low, and you will get virtually no deals. So if you plan to do direct mail, get fresh names, meaning that they just sold their property, and maybe they received 2, 3, or 4 payments. Okay? Don't buy lists that have seasoning 2 years old, 3 years old. You'll get next to no response. I'll guarantee you. How do you know when you don't have fresh names? You ask them how old their names are. Okay? And you'll see when they give them to you what the date they carried back the mortgage was. And if it's older than 6 months old, call someone else. Get fresh names. That's the key to the direct mail and notes.
Where did you get the names from?
I'll give you a number later on where I get the names from. Okay? I send out somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 letters every single month, and my follow-up postcards somewhere now is in the actual range of 6,000 to 8,000 postcards a month going out of my house. Every single Friday, something's being mailed out to note holders. Was there a question, or is that the other guy? That's the other guy. How many states am I currently mailing to? 10. Just 10 states, although I have closed transactions, and now it'll be 42 states after this month. This is just sliding all around. There we go. My newest state's going to be Michigan. I'm doing a deal in Michigan right now, and I've never done a deal there before. But I have done deals in 41 different states as of right now, and I mail to 10 different states. Other marketing methods bring in all those other states to me. This is a nationwide business. Wherever you're from, whatever you're doing, you don't have to just focus in on your own state or your own area. Nationwide business. Do I use bulk mail or first-class mail? I use first-class mail. I've tested it all out. I've done bulk mail, zip +4, zip +8, zippity-doo-dah-day. I've done it all. Okay, I've had 13 years to test this stuff, and I get the best response on first-class mail. How,
Which one is cheaper for you to do?
which one is cheaper? Well, cheaper obviously is bulk mail, but it's actually more expensive because then I don't get any deals from it. Okay, I did bulk mail for 4 months straight. I probably mailed out in that 4 months, close to 8,000 letters, and I probably got about 4 phone calls. You know, I don't think anybody opened up those letters. Do I use a meter or stamps? I use stamps, and I use commemorative stamps. Okay, not the flags are nice. Every few months I'll use a flag, but I'll buy Elvis Presley, Marilyn Monroe, you know, flowers, hay wagons, birdies, something to set it apart from the rest of their mail.
You never use pre-sorted?
I've done pre-sort. I've tested it. It didn't work for me. Nope. I get the best response, the most deals when I do first-class mail.
Because of the stamp, the type of stamp?
Oh, because of the stamp and many more details about the direct mail.
What's the percent return on first-class mail?
What's the percentage on my first? This is turning into a marketing session rather than how I run my business. I'll tell you this. When I send out my letters, okay, you have to understand, I have tested my letters down to what color ink I've signed the signature in. Okay? I've tested many, many different forms of letters, many different types of paper, many different envelopes and things. I use a number 10 business envelope with a window. I use white linen paper. I sign my letters in blue ink with a pinpoint medium blue pen.
Okay, say that again.
Okay? Well, you'll have to get the tape. Okay? And it works for me. I got to do a disclaimer here. If you do this, I can't guarantee it's going to work for you. Every marketing method doesn't work for everyone. Okay? I've got to tell you that. But when I send out 1,000 letters, I expect to get 30 to 50 phone calls. And that is huge in direct mail. But I've been testing it for over 13 years now. Okay? I started out small, 250, 500, 750, 1,000. Okay? It is very expensive. It's not for the light of heart. That's for sure. If I get 50 phone calls, 10 of those people, 20% will be interested in selling, and I'll probably get maybe 2 to 4, 3 to 5 deals. Eventually, not exactly that month, but eventually over time, from that mailing, I'll get 3 to 5 deals. Okay? I've got statistics. I've been keeping track for years and years. I've tested and micro-tested down to the color of ink that I sign my pen with. You know? And if it's not that pen, I just have less confidence in the response, you know? So I always have that pen. Okay, let's get back to how I run my business, though. Do I service notes for, do I call the people that I mail to? No, I don't. I don't follow up with a phone call. They got my letter, they're going to get my postcards, they can go to my website, okay? If they need cash, I expect they'll call me. And they're very surprised when the president answers the phone. Very surprised. Do I advertise in the newspaper? Yes, I do occasionally. Not in the LA Times, but in those small nickel penny saver types of papers. Okay, those small papers that they sell, baby cribs in, and for some of you this is, a repeat, but for baby cribs and furniture and tires, right? Those kind of little papers like that. And I put my ad in the baby section and in the furniture section. That's where I get the best response. Baby items. Well, they just had babies. They need money, right? Or their babies are growing up, they have kids, they need money. And who looks there also? Grandparents. Okay, grandparents, more mature people that may have a note. Okay, I've tested it. You put it in the real estate section, you'll get calls for loans. put it in the finance section, you'll get calls for loans. Okay? You put it in a different section, for some reason, people sit there and read every single ad in that paper. And if they have a note and they need cash, they're going to give me a call. Okay? Do I invest in notes for myself? Yes, I do. Do I service notes for other people, collect payments for other people? No, I do not. Do I use a credit line to buy notes? I have just recently started to do that in the last couple of years. I got a warehouse line of credit, and I will buy notes and package them up, maybe 10 or 20 of them at a time, and then resell it as a package and get a much better price. So yes, the answer to that is yes now. Do I broker other types of cash flows? Sure. I am very focused on real estate notes. But if someone calls me with a business note or a structured settlement, lawsuit funding, cellular tower leases, auto portfolios, am I going to turn them away? It's too easy. I pull out a worksheet, I fill it out, and I fax it over to the funding source. Of course I do other notes. Okay? I don't do loans, but I will do other cash flows. Sure. I don't do factoring, though. That's a whole other thing. Okay, someone calls me for factoring, I refer it over to, Neil Polshak at Millennium or Fred Steinberg over at Sun. Okay, I don't mess with factoring. Do I modify notes? That means after you buy them, do I change the terms and things? No, I don't do that. Do I do simultaneous transactions? Absolutely not. Don't do simultaneous transactions. Feel free to contact Larry Bledsoe of Diversified Funding Services for simultaneous transactions. Do I have an email address? Of course, yes. Do I have a website? Yes. Do I make lists, ticker files, and things like that to keep track of everything? Absolutely, I do. And the word came up yesterday that I was anal. And and I take offense to that because I'm just very organized. All right? I just know what works for me, and I know when to do it, and it works. But if my sock drawer is messed up, I'm not going to flip out. You know what I mean? Next subject. What is your average commission? Over the last 13 years, as part of the statistics that I keep for my business, my average commission is about $1,500. Okay, almost 1,300 transactions, about $1,500 over those 13 years. In the last 3 years, if I just take the last 3 years into account, my average commission is about $3,600 per transaction because I've been doing more partials. And you can hide the discount a little bit better. You can make a little bit bigger commission when you offer partials. Okay, push the partial. You might want to visit Tracy Rui at her booth. She has a great little handout on partials. Okay, pushing the partials. Yes?
What is a tickler file?
What is a tickler file? A tickler file for me is, maybe I didn't explain that, that's back to that other question 29 there. A tickler file for me is if someone is not interested that called me, I will have a little file of people that called me that really aren't interested in selling, and I will follow up with them in 2 months, or in 3 months, or in 4 months. So every month that comes up, I'll pull it out, and here's all these people that I have to call back this month because they didn't sell before. Follow-up is critical in this business. Just because they don't want to sell when they call me doesn't mean they're not going to need money in the future. Okay, so all these numbers I'm giving you about, out of 1,000, eventually 3 to 5 deals close, it's because of follow-up too. It's not just because of that letter. If they call me, they had something in mind to get some cash, and if I didn't meet their need then, maybe they'll need money in the future. So I'll keep calling them up every 2, 4, 6 months for a year or two until I'm exhausted, and I'll go to the next person. Yes?
What's your methodology for your record keeping? Is it on the computer? Is it in a box? Is it on a
My methodology for record keeping. Well, I started in 1991 when the computer was just there to go into Prodigy and play games. Okay? So from day one, I've got, unfortunately, all of my record keeping is on legal paper. That yellow notepads. And I'm gradually trying to get with the times and get it on a computer and things like that. But it just works for me. So I'm used to my methods, and I just keep doing the same thing. Other tickler files I will have, people that have sold me partials, I will call them up when I feel like I'm bored or something. Hey, how you doing? You need some cash now? You can sell a few more payments of your note to get some more cash right now. Okay, that's another tickler file that I'll keep. I'll keep a file of all the people that have called me and asked to be taken off my list. Okay? Get a good 1% of your mailings of people that call you with that. Just all kinds of little tickler files like that to remind myself of things that I'm doing. We also, so that's my average commissions. Newsletters. Of course, you're going to be getting that journal every single month. That's a great newsletter to get. You might also want to check out the Noteworthy newsletter and the Paper Source newsletters. You can find them through the internet, I guess. Noteworthy USA and papersourceonline.com. What seminars have I attended? Way back when, the ACFI course, I took a 5-day boot camp. That was where I got my initial training. I've been also to John Richards and Hank Herrenberg's seminars and sessions and learned a lot from them as well. What do I think is the best way to get started in this business? We deal with real estate. Even if you don't get your real estate license, you might want to take an evening or a weekend or a home study course on real estate just to familiarize yourself with real estate and some real estate terms. Would not hurt at all. Attend the conventions. Find and use a mentor or master broker. Learn real estate business. Plan to subsidize yourself for 6 to 12 months. Again, this is not a get-rich-quick business. It's going to take a while for you to get started. I tell my classes that I teach, I want you to get your first deal within the first 3 months from the time you took the class. A very conservative goal. I really think you can get started faster than that. Okay, but don't quit your day job right away is all we're saying. Okay? Do I work with new brokers? Absolutely. Can you call me if you have a note for sale? Yes. Can you call me if we have a question about a particular note or a transaction? Absolutely, yes. Please do call me. What I don't want you to call me about, okay, I got an email a few months ago, and I hope this person's not in the audience, okay? I got an email a few months ago, and it had 50 questions on it. Okay, well, it looked like 50. I mean, I just looked at a couple of them and scrolled down and said, wow, this guy's got to be crazy. How can I sit here for an hour and answer all these questions? But they were questions like, what should I get, a 2-drawer or a 4-drawer file cabinet? Should I get a legal or a letter-size file cabinet? Should I get a big, long desk or just a table? Get nothing was my response. That is not being in business. I've been working on a $99 desk from Office Depot for 13 years. And, well, probably not that long because I worked on my bed and then my kitchen table. Okay? And then I got a $99 desk. Being in business is not about setting up an office. Being in business is getting yourself out there, getting your name out there, and marketing. Don't go spend $500 on a desk and office furniture. Spend that on marketing. Get some deals first. Okay? So call me with potential transactions, questions you have about transactions. Call the coaches, the member advisors at ACF to ask them about what color file cabinets you should get. Okay? Additional daily routine information. For my statistics for my business, how much time we got? We're doing okay? About 20? Okay, good. I keep a monthly tally, this monthly tally of the number of calls I get, the number of quotes I give directly to note holders. I also have a list of how many I give to consultants. The number of yeses from those quotes. The number of deals started from those yeses. And then the number of deals closed. Number of calls, it's simple. You just make a tally of the number of calls. Someone calls me, bing, I put a little tally mark on my piece of paper. Number of quotes I give, not just over the phone, but actually the number of quotes I give to people, and they're interested. Okay, that's when I put that tally on there, the quotes I give. The number of yeses, when they say, yeah, that sounds good, what do I need next? And when I send them a list of what they need to send me in my purchase agreement, that's the tally mark goes there. The number of deals started. After they say yes, yeah, you kind of start a deal, but I don't count my deals as starting until I have all the copies of the documents and I send it to the funding source. That is when a deal is really started. Okay, when they say yes, that's a very positive thing. That'll keep your confidence going. Now we got to get those copies of documents for the funding source. That's when I count a deal as started. And then, of course, the number of deals closed. I keep track of the tickler files we were talking about. For monthly callbacks, annual callbacks, some people I'll just call once a year instead of once a month if they're really not interested. And in addition to that, partials. People that have sold just a part of their note that still have a back end and may need more money. So I'll call them once every 6 months or so to check in with them, make sure they're okay, make sure I still have the same phone number, they haven't moved, so I can keep in contact with them. Okay? That's residual for me on mortgage notes. Question? Or is that the microphone that looks like a hand? Okay? I also do, well, we have our main monthly tasks. Let's go weekly tasks first. Weekly, I'll have callbacks for all those tickler files. And let's see, licking, stuffing, stamping, my mailings, okay? The stickers on the postcards, the labels on the postcards, preparing my letters every month, okay? I'm doing something on that every single week. Monthly tasks. I have a certain day every month that I pay my bills. I have a certain day every month that I enter items in my ledgers as far as expenses, money coming in, deals closing, things like that. I back up my computers every month for the information that I do have in there. And I organize monthly duties. And what do those monthly duties entail? You guys with me? Okay, good stuff, huh?
How many computers do you have?
How many computers do I have? I just have one computer at home on the desk and my laptop that I carry around. Daily tasks. Drop kids off at school. Okay, get up, right, okay. I drop my older daughter off at junior high. I'll walk my other daughter to school. She'll be in 5th grade next year, still elementary school about 4 blocks away. When I'm walking back from taking her to school, I'm walking to work. Okay, I get home, 8:30 I'm really starting work, but I don't answer the phones until about 9 o'clock. So we're talking 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I am working on pending files first. I'm always working on things that are going to make me money first. And that's my pending files. files we're working on, we're trying to get to closing, etc. Pending transactions. I will, from 10 to 11, approximately, this is just a rough guesstimate, give or take a half hour, or, 9:30 I'll go get a Diet Pepsi, things like that. But not anal, just organized. Okay, my body needs caffeine, and I don't drink coffee, so at 9:30 I get a Diet Pepsi. What's wrong with that? I know, you guys know what I'm talking about. 10 to 11. I am responding to messages on the voicemail and making some callbacks. About 11 o'clock, I'll try to get into my emails and respond. And usually during that time, I'll be eating my lunch while I'm on the computer. Somewhere between 12 and 1, I am doing more callbacks. Because this is nationwide, see, now it's 12 to 1 is, 3 o'clock East Coast time. So they're just about winding their day down over there. And it's a great time for me to start calling. And usually between 12 and 1, that's when a lot of people receive their mail back east, 3 o'clock or so, and I'll start getting calls. So all throughout the day, I'm getting calls and dealing with those on a one-by-one basis. So I'm working on callbacks, 1 o'clock to 2. And these callbacks are messages, are those tickler files we were talking about, are people that I'm following up with that I wasn't able to talk to in the morning on the pending transactions. That's all my callbacks. 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, I'm doing some mailing stuff, getting my mailings ready, postcards, the postcards and the letters and what have you, going through the list, deleting, bad addresses, things like that, working on my mailing list. 2 to 3, I go to the P.O. box. I'm in the middle of picking up the girls from school. So after I pick up the girls from school, I pick up my mail from the mailbox. I get home, and now I'm going through my mail, my snail mail, then responding to that. If anyone from 3 to 4 o'clock, if I've gotten any acceptances that day, if I've received copies on pending deals and things I need to do, I get my deals ready to fax out the next morning. So I'm preparing new deal packages and trying to get any leftover pending issues resolved. 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I go check on the crock pot, see how that tri-tip's doing. Okay. And I'm winding down the day, doing homework with the girls, make a little list of what I need to do next morning, preparing for the next day. I apologize for my quick, sloppy writing here. Okay, and I'll prepare mail to send out the next day. Okay, that in a nutshell is my day. Okay, 5 o'clock I stop answering the phones. I will then, any consultants that have sent me worksheets to price, I'll price them out and fax them back before the end of the day. Okay, we're in the quick cash business. I want to get that quote back to you so that you can call them right back the next day. Okay, most funding sources are that quick as well, within 24 hours or the next business day. Question?
You say about the mailings and send them out once a week, or are you sending mail out every day, or does it make any difference?
Do I send out mail every day, or do I do it on a weekly basis?
Those big mailers.
Right, the big mailers.
1,000
The letters go out the first Friday of every month, and postcards are going out every Friday after that for the follow-up, the 6-month follow-up, the 12-month follow-up, and the 18-month follow-up. So something is going out of my house every Friday. I brought my postcards with me here to drop them in the mail tomorrow. Okay? I'm constantly working my business. Constantly. Question?
What's Tracy's last name?
Tracy Rui, and her company is Diversified Investment Services. She is Fred Rui's wife, and she has. I just know she has a great handout on doing partials. Okay, so stop by her booth. Yes.
When you do your callbacks throughout the different time zones, are you leaving a message, or are you just trying to get them?
When I'm doing my callbacks, do I leave a message, or do I just hang up if the machine comes on? I will leave a message 2 times, and then I won't leave a message the rest of the week, and then I'll leave a message again the next week. So I don't want to leave messages every day for them. I'll leave them a message once a week about, and then after that, I will hang up if they don't answer. Because I do want to get a hold of them. They'll get really sick of me if I leave, a message every single day. That's a little too pushy for me. Yes?
I noticed you have a post office box for your business address. Someone told me it doesn't look professional and you're doing well.
Someone told her that a P.O. box does not look professional. I've always been using a P.O. box. I'm doing a nationwide business. I work out of my house. I don't need people that I'm mailing to knowing exactly where I live. If I'm working on a transaction, they need to overnight me something, of course, I'll give them my physical address. But it has not deterred anyone from doing business with me ever. Okay? If it does, I haven't known about it. Okay?
How many calls a day when you're doing your telemarketing? How many do you schedule a day?
When I'm doing my follow-up calls, how many do I schedule a day? I will try to do at least 10 a day from each section. Okay, 10 follow-ups on partials, 10 follow-ups on callbacks for 6-month, 12-month, and 18-month people. Okay, and I have a plan to at least do that many a day. Because distractions come up. I want to go to lunch with my wife sometimes, and I want to go volunteer at the girls' school, or I want to go fishing. All right? On Wednesdays. I like going fishing on Wednesdays sometimes. A lot of times. Okay? Couple more, and then we kind of got to wrap it up.
On the post office box, I actually have a post office box that have a street address with a suite number, which nobody don't know what it is.
Exactly. There are P.O. boxes you can get through, like mailboxes, et cetera, in those places where it's an actual street address with a suite number, if you prefer that. But it's still a P.O. box.
Question. When you work with these people and they identify you as a sole business owner and one-man show, do you feel that detracts from your performance of your business?
Do I feel that it detracts from my business when my note holders find out I'm a one-man operation? I actually think they like it better because they know that they're going to get that personal attention and I'm accountable for every action of my business, and I can't blame it on anyone. So I actually think they like it a lot better. A couple more.
Putting your new deal packages, what kind of information would you send?
In what?
You want to prepare your new deal packages? Is that like marketing package?
When I'm preparing my new deal, when someone says yes and they send me my copies.
Even before that, when you're just marketing your information, what do you send?
Oh, just a letter. In my initial mailing, it's just a letter. The packages I'm talking about preparing are when they've said yes and sent in their copies to me. That's the package I'm getting ready to send to the funding source. Okay?
Do you have any suggestions about how you might adjust this when you have more limited time? I understand you do this whole.
Sure. Any suggestions as far as, hey, a lot of you guys are new, you're starting out, you still have day jobs, right? You're working 9 to 5. What you need to do is you have to dedicate X amount of time per day to this business. Okay, if it's an hour a day, if it's a half hour a day, if it's a couple hours on a Saturday, okay, dedicate that time. And if you say, okay, I'm going to do an hour a day, I'm going to make 10 phone calls tonight. I'm going to search the internet for an hour and try to get 10 to 20 factoring leads, whatever you guys are going to do. Make it and dedicate it. The first time that you go from 60 minutes to 59 minutes, you've lost the battle. You're going to slowly start to fail. Okay? Stay dedicated. If you're going to say, I'm going to work on this business an hour a day, work on it the full 60 minutes a day. Doing marketing, reviewing materials, whatever it is you do in that hour, do it. Okay? Don't worry about getting desks and file cabinets and things like that. Get ready to do your marketing. Okay? That's my suggestion for the part-timers that are starting out. You know, dedicate X amount of time a day, X amount of time a week, and do it. Okay? And what do you have to do? You got to get your name out there and market.
Do you only use one particular source for your marketing leads?
My source for leads. Let me give you that really quick, and then we'll have to shut it down because they're knocking at the door here. My main source of leads is Experian. The name of the list is Seller Carrybacks. Seller Carrybacks. 800-316-2637. They have names in 26 different states, and remember, you want to ask for fresh names. Just by matter of fact, I'm gonna have the girls pick out. Do you have the two books?
EXPERI.
EXPERIAN. It's the credit checking company. They have a list division. Okay. And do you have the books? Okay. We'll pick out a couple cards here, and I'll give the two winners a book. In addition to that, oh, you need some more cards? Get a few more final cards here.
2637.
Yes, 2637. That's a 6. 2637. Okay? Additionally, I am a newly published children's author. Because I have the time and the extra money and things to do like that now, I wrote a couple of children's books for younger children, you know, first grade, second grade maybe at the most, preschool definitely, and they just got published last month. If you want to check them out, they are at exlibris.com, XLIBRIS.com. One book is called Two Rocks That Poop. Okay, little kids love poop. Okay, and the other one is Red Noah. So just a by-the-by kind of a thing. I'll stand up here for questions. I'll go in the back after we draw for the books. Then I'm going to go right over and do book signings. So I'll try to get to as many questions as I can out in the hall. Okay? Thank you very much. Good luck with your business. Let's pick a couple names here.
This concludes the first presentation.